Hey, it's Doug from the Rise Above Gym channel, and I want to help you build better shoulder mobility, strength, and dynamic power using this Clubbell Flow series. Let's check it out. Now the Clubbell is a very specialized piece of equipment where it has a tapered handle and the weight is distributed in the bowling pin fashion on one end. Now there's different styles of Clubbells that you can get. This is more of an economical one. It's a little shorter. It doesn't have any knurling for the grip, where this one is a little bit more premium, has knurling, has a nice base at the end where the hand won't slip, and it's a little bit longer. These are both the same weight at 15 pounds, but you can tell this one is a lot longer. It does make a difference when it's longer because the weight is a lot further out when you're doing casts and things like that. Now these are not to be confused with Indian clubs. Now Indian clubs are light. These are only maybe a pound each, and these are to be done more for general mobility and warm up, moving the shoulders around. It's not supposed to be too dynamic or strength oriented because of the weight is just so small. Now if you wanted to see some flow work with Indian clubs, I'll put a link in a card up above there. Now I'm going to go through my favorite flow series and why we do it and how it can help you increase your mobility, flexibility, strength, and dynamic movement within the shoulder itself. Now, these exercises can be done as a warm-up, so I like to do this 2 days a week, especially if I'm doing kettlebell. I'll just pick up the club and I'll do this series that I'm going to show you right now. It just helps me warm everything up. It also builds up strength and power and a lot of dynamic connection within the body as I'm moving. It can also be done as a workout. It can also be done in isolation, like I have a lot of my athletes doing particular exercises to help increase their power in certain sports. So the first one I like to do is I call it around the world. It's just simply around the back. So I'm going to take my bell and I'm just going to shift my hips and bring it around my back. Now as you notice, I'm shifting my hips around because I'm getting that connection from the feet to generate the propulsion from my hips, which helps turn the club. And then I'll just go the other way. Also works your grip a little bit because I got to pass it and get that kind of dynamic grip. So any sport that, basketball where you're dribbling behind your back, or football where you got to grip the ball, this is a good warm-up one. Next, I like to do rotational swings. Now, rotational horizontal swings are going to come from up high and then whip through. So I'm going to, again, shift my hips. I'm going to start kind of low. So I'm shifting my hip to drive, and I got that float, and then I whip through. I eventually like to lift my foot so I don't put too much torque on my knee. I'm getting that float, whipping through, and then I'll switch, whip through. So again, any rotational athlete, golf, tennis, baseball, softball, even soccer, kicking, this will help you guys out to build up your strength individually in each shoulder, mobility individually in each shoulder, and power. Next, I'll bring it through and I'll kind of do like a similar alternating kettlebell swing just down the middle. It's more or less just to get my hips going in a vertical motion or a sagittal motion. And I like to switch again because I'm building up my grip, but I'm also relaxing the grip on either side. And then I'll just slightly change it eventually and go from the side. So these I use a lot for softball pitchers because they got that underhand, so they got to bring it back, whip through. This is a great one to help them simulate that motion and build up some power and teaching their body to generate through their legs and then whipping through. And of course I'd switch sides. And then this exercise as well is a primary exercise to carry over to other exercises, which I'm going to do next. So I'm going to go back to my right hand and then I'm going to do a little bit of shoulder flexion and extension overhead. So I'm bringing my arm up. I'm going to try to go slow, so I'm going to choke up, and as I come up, I'm going to extend without arching my chest too much here. So I'm going to keep it down, and I'm getting that mobility and casting back through. Now the nice thing is, if you need to choke up a little bit, you can. If you can make the lever long, which is more challenging on the grip especially, you can do that. So I'll switch sides. One arm will probably be a little bit different. This arm is definitely a little bit weaker on me. So I'm going to just choke up a little bit and whip through. But again, I want it to be nice, smooth with my flow. And if you think about this, this one is a great one for overhead athletes, tennis serves, volleyball. So we're just bringing it overhead and going through. Now these next couple are a little more advanced. So I'm going to do a halo. So much like we've done with the mace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing. I'm going to go slow, so I'm going to choke up a lot here just to show you. So I'm going to swing. I'm going to lift it around my head. I'm going to lean a little bit, and then I'm going to whip through and back down. So again, I'm going to lean and whip through. So I'm getting a little rotator cuff rotation, getting that pendulum around the head. That was a little bit high, but now I'm going to try to be a little smoother. And I'm going to whip around, and again, I'm going to switch sides, try the other side. I'll choke up a little bit because this arm is not as fluid. And as you can see, my hips are dipping, pushing to generate that movement. And then here I have a little bit of a cast as well. So I'm working a lot of different muscles at different angles, especially my grip, forearm, shoulder mobility. And then lastly, we're going to do more of a horizontal cast or throw. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to choke up so I can show you slowly. I'm going to swing much like my horizontal swing. When I get to here, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to externally rotate my arm, and I'm going to rotate back and through. So it's almost like I'm throwing a ball, keeping it very close, hiking it through. I do like to rest a little bit on my shoulder. You don't have to, but it just kind of slows down the club a little bit so I don't put too much pressure on my shoulder. Again, I'll go this way, cast through. You can rotate your hips a little bit. And that's basically my warm-up that I do before I do my kettlebell rounds. My shoulders feel pretty good. I feel pretty strong. My grip's a little bit tired, so I'd rest a little bit before I get into my kettlebells. Now again, you can do this as a warm-up to a workout. You can do it, just as a workout itself. You can do it individually. So like I said, I have those softball girls doing those vertical swings. I have a lot of the golf guys or tennis doing a lot of the rotational swings as well. And they can be a great exercise, doing 20 reps, doing both sides just to get that acceleration, deceleration of the shoulder, and then getting the body to move all together. So I want to thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please like it down below. Also subscribe to the channel. Try to put a new video out every couple of weeks to help you guys out with any exercises that you may find challenging or new. And I just like to help people out with that. If you have exercises or suggestions, put them down in the comments below and I'll try to make videos on them. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.